and maybe the thumbnail. Um, it was an anime that I used to watch before when I was younger, and I'm super happy that they recreated it on Netflix. And yeah, we're getting a season 2 this year as well. So I thought if there was anyone out there who's interested in watching it or has no idea about this anime and would like to know more, I'm gonna talk more about it and give you some idea. Maybe I can get you to watch it. So basically, it's a comedy. Basically, it's a comedy. It's a martial arts comedy. So Ranma is the protagonist, and he's a martial arts guru. He's really good, but then he went to China for training, and then so every time a cold water hits him, he turns into a girl, and hot water switches him back to a boy. But yeah, so it's like a gender swap comedy in the 90s. I don't know how it's gonna read in 2025, but I think only because it's my favorite, I'm pretty biased about it. Um, it's also, how do you say this? It's also, Ranma is pretty much, you can see here is kind of like the diagram or like a snapshot of the show. Um, Ranma is essentially a romance. It's a romance show more than it is martial arts, but it's not like those martial arts. Just thinking if this, it's not really focused much on the martial arts. Yes, he's gonna go stronger and stuff like that, but the underlying story is the romance between Ranma and Akane. And a lot of the issues that they have, or the the things that they go through, is because of them being engaged, basically. So that's where the story starts. I'm thinking of going over all the episodes and watching them on this channel. So today we're just gonna talk about just the characters of the show, but basically I'll give you a summary of how this all started. So basically, yeah, I was saying Ranma he's a martial artist. So his dad, where's his dad? Oh yeah, this is his dad. Brought him over to China to train to make his martial arts better. But then in their training, they were in this like cursed spring thing, and then he fell down into a spring, and the spring turns him into a girl when he's like splashed with cold water, and then anything the s- the curse reverses back, so he becomes a guy again. It was really a guy. And after they went to China, they went back to Japan. So they came back to Japan. So he's Japanese. Then he and his dad moved in with the Tendos. So they didn't know that the dads had been planning for them to kind of like get their children engaged. So there was like three girls. These are the two other girls. This is Akane. And anyway, I'll go over them later. So when they came in, Ranma had to be engaged with one of the sisters, and for some reason they just decided it had to be Akane at the beginning, but they didn't get along. They were like not happy about the whole thing, but they went along with it, and that's the premise, and that's actually the point of everything. We're all just gonna go back to that. The whole story is just them ensuring that they're engaged. Like at the end of every arc or story is always like them still being engaged at the end. So nothing really changes until the end, and that's a bit of a spoiler. But yeah, that's really how this show is. But it's really funny. It's funny. It's comedy. It's a love story. Yeah. Anyway, so let's start with Ranma. So as I said, Ranma is a martial artist. So in the show, he's the main protagonist and he's the best one. Like he's really good at being a martial artist. And even if and there's a lot of, I don't know, I bought all the manga. There's like 37 odd volumes, and even if there's like a stronger like villain, or not really villain, like the villain, you can't take anything seriously in the show. Just everything's just always a gag, which I like. That's part of it. I think that's the charm. So if there's any like thing that is causing trouble in their relatively peaceful life, even if they're stronger than Ranma, he's gonna find a way to win. So that's his kind of like attitude at everything. He's like, I'm gonna find a way to win. So essentially, he is the strongest in the show. But then even if there's like a stronger person, he'll find a way to kind of defeat them. And that's fine. He's the main character. And then yeah, this is his female form, his female half. So whenever he turns into, or he's doused with cold water, he turns into a girl. And it's a kind of gag as well. Like sometimes it gets him into like really bad situations. But it is funny. He's gender fluid for sure. Um, yeah, that's him. That's Ranma, and his main. Um, so as I said in the beginning, he's engaged to Akane. So Akane is the fiance that's been arranged by their dads. Because of course she's a strong martial artist. Like before Ranma came, she was kind of probably the strongest martial artist in Narima. That's where they live. Um, yeah, so she's really nice. Akane is like, I think one of the most grounded person in this whole show. Everyone's just so crazy and extreme. And Akane is kind of like a little bit grounded in reality. Not grounded, I would say, but she's more mature, or she'll kind of find she's kind of like in tune with if something doesn't feel right. She's the one who like really thinks and not doesn't, except when it comes to Ranma. So when it's other things, she's smart. Oh, so Ranma and Pichan, those are her like two things. If it's about Ranma, she just like jumps into conclusions and just clobbers him. And Pichan, I don't know. That's her character flaw, I guess. But yeah, other than that, she's smart and nice. And yeah, but she's unfortunately not the strongest in this crew of martial artists. Most of the characters here are martial artists, except for the family members of the Tendo family. But yeah, she is. At the beginning, she did like was kind of strong, but as the series went on, most of the martial arts are more on Ranma. She's there as like a damsel in distress, and yeah, but she's very that's the word. She's rational compared to Ranma and the other things. She'll be like, "Why are we fighting this?" Or there's something's not right. Yeah, she's kind of like the voice of reason sometimes. Except when Ranma's like, I don't know, with another prettier girl, then she hates that. Although she will never admit it. Never, not Ranma or Akane will, they will never say that they like each other, but their actions will. So that's also part of the gag of the whole show, is that they would like kind of prevent anything that will stop or kind of hinder their engagement. So basically, they want to be engaged in action, but they would never admit to that. So okay, Genma is Ranma's dad. He's pretty crazy. So he brought his son. He did a lot of crazy things to Ranma, and I'm not gonna spoil too much because I don't think it was in season one Netflix, but he did a lot of crazy things to make sure his son is like stronger. And one of those things is that he brought his son to this cursed spring training ground, and he fell into it as well. So this is his cursed form. So when he gets splashed with cold water, he turns into a panda, which is kind of always a gag. It's funny, but he's pretty annoying. I don't like him. as a character, but I don't think he has any good points. But you know, a lot of the characters in Ranma are like that, so not much to say. Yeah, so he's the one who kind of engaged Ranma and Akane with his friend, his best friend. So this is Akane's dad. So they kind of were students together, and they kind of agreed that they were gonna kind of arrange both their children. He's funny, he's nice, he's the owner of the house. He's a little bit dramatic sometimes, but yeah, he's okay. He's an okay character. Nabiki. Oh my gosh. So Nabiki is Akane's so there's three children. There's Kasumi, Nabiki, and Akane. Akane is the youngest. Nabiki is the middle child. I would say she's the capitalist. I would say she's the capitalist. She's the one who just thinks about money all the time. There is no morality for Nabiki, and it's funny because she will sell everything and anything to get a good buck. She will rent Ranma out. She will. That's a spoiler, but she will sell pictures of him, sell pictures of Akane. Yeah, so there's like a full arc in the manga. I don't know if they're gonna go that far where she almost like pawned off the whole house yeah, from her financial troubles, but she's funny. There's a lot of plot points with Nabiki, actually, more than Kasumi, surprisingly, because she's not a martial artist, but she's very manipulative. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. There's not much of Nabiki in season one, so she's gonna hopefully they if they get to bring everything, all the manga into the anime, then we can watch more of Nabiki. Okay, Kasumi. Kasumi is Nabiki. So she's the angel. She's the best sister. She's kind of like, so Akane doesn't have a mom anymore. So she's kind of the one who's like cooking for them, and she's super nice. She's like, oh, if Ranma hurt Akane's feelings, she'll tell him to like, apologize. She's the voice. Yeah, she's all. Oh, there's nothing more to say. She doesn't have like a huge role in the show, but she's, yeah, I like Kasumi. Kuno is one of their classmates in school. Well, it's more he's 1 year older than them, and he likes Akane. So this is where the whole dynamic of the show is gonna be with the next characters. They're all intertwined into some sort of love story. Everyone likes someone at some point, except for the family members. So Kuno likes Akane and girl Ranma. So that's also something that's kind of weird. He's the only person, well, I guess him and Ryoga, they couldn't figure out, or could never, that's his blind spot. He thinks the girl Ranma is different from Ranma. So that's his gag. But he's not very strong. Like, yeah, he's not a real threat when fighting with Ranma. But yeah, it's funny, but also kind of annoying. But he's not a real threat because Akane doesn't like him. Kodachi is another one. So they're siblings. Kodachi is Kuno's younger sister, but she goes to a different school. So she likes Ranma. We first encounter her in the series where she's kind of like having to fight. So she's kind of like Kuno as well. She couldn't figure out, or she doesn't know that boy Ranma and girl Ranma are the same person. But yeah, it's funny. But she's a little bit crazy. She's crazy, and yeah, her arc is also good. But she's crazy. Her first arc is good, but the rest of her arcs are not too memorable. I would say. I think because they're not Jusenkyo, or Jusenkyo is the Cursed Spring. They're not spring related characters, so storylines are not as interesting in the future as the other characters that I'm gonna go through. Ryoga, this is one of the just Senkyo characters. So Ryoga is a Ranma's kind of frenemy, I would say. Um, he hates Ranma. He wants to kill him, but for different reasons now. Because when he met Ranma again, he kind of had a crush, started to have a crush on Akane, so that kind of became the reason for him not liking Ranma. But anyway, he doesn't have any sense of direction. It's always a gag in the show that he pops up here and there for a story. He's like a recurring character as well, and of course Pichan is his cursed form, and he hates Ranma because he kind of blames Ranma for having the curse. Because I think Ranma pushed him into the curse accidentally or something. But anyway, Pichan is Akane's pet, and Akane doesn't know that Pichan is Ryoga. So that's another like gag that goes on and on and on in the show, which is yeah, that's Akane's flaw, I think. Shampoo is one of my favorite characters, only cause not because she's like a good character, but because all her arcs are always good. When a storyline has Shampoo, it's good. It's always a good time. And she's so much stronger than Akane, so Akane can't fight her. Okay, yes, sorry. So Shampoo is into Ranma. She likes Ranma, and I feel like she's Akane's probably biggest rival. Maybe I don't know, but yeah, I like her because yeah, her storylines are always fun. She's strong, and there are a lot of characters related to Shampoo that will be brought on later, and those characters are also interesting. So she used to hate girl Ranma at the beginning, and then and then she she suddenly liked male Ranma. But anyway, at the end, she likes male Ranma. So yeah, I like Shampoo. So she also has a cursed form, but it's not yet in the show, so I'm not gonna show you. But she will get into. She's one of those cursed characters as well. And the last bit here is Mikado and Suza. They're not a recurring character. They just have like one arc, but they were fun for what they were at the beginning of the show. Yeah, they were like a martial arts skating. So a lot of the things in Ranma as well are kind of like martial arts related things. So they put martial arts into practically anything, and the thing that they do is like they do anything goes martial arts, so anything can become a martial arts thing. And yeah, it's pretty crazy and funny. So yeah, that's kind of the summary of the show. I mean, just the characters thus far. I want to go through all the episodes as well. I'm not going to talk about. So I know what happens in the manga because I've read the whole thing, and I'm really hoping that it becomes more popular so that they can adopt everything because the original adoption in the 90s they didn't finish it, and they had so many like filler episodes which wasn't fun. So I'm hoping this one will be done until the end. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll talk about each of the episodes with spoilers, of course, if you haven't seen the show. And hopefully, we can get ready for the next season this October. I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.